Alright, let's cut to the chase. We're diving straight into the world of Bitcoin. No fluff, no beating around the bush. We're going to tackle the big question head on. And hopefully, by the end of this, you'll have a solid grasp of what this whole Bitcoin thing is all about. So buckle up, because we're about to demystify the digital currency that's been making headlines and sparking conversations around the globe. So, what exactly Bitcoin? You've undoubtedly heard the buzz, the whispers, maybe even the outright shouts about Bitcoin. It's been in the news, on social media, and probably even at your dinner table. But here's the core, the fundamental essence of what Bitcoin is all about. Stripped down to its bare essentials, it's actually quite simple to understand. Bitcoin is digital money, existing purely online. It's not something you can physically touch or hold in your hand. It lives and breathes in the digital realm. You can't hold it like cash. There are no physical coins or bills to stash away in your wallet. Instead, it lives on a global network of computers, a vast and interconnected system that spans the entire planet. This network is what makes Bitcoin so unique and powerful. It was the very first cryptocurrency, the trailblazer that sparked today's digital currency revolution. It paved the way for countless other cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects that we see emerging today. The big innovation, the groundbreaking idea that set Bitcoin apart from everything that came before, you can't just copy and paste Bitcoin like a file. It's not like duplicating a digital document. When you send it, you no longer have it. It's transferred directly from your digital wallet to the recipients. It's just like handing over cash. Once you've given it away, it's gone. This uniqueness gives it value, all without a bank in the middle. It cuts out the traditional financial institutions and allows for peer-to-peer transactions. So who's in charge? Who's pulling the strings behind the scenes? No one and everyone. It's a system without a central authority. Bitcoin is decentralized, run by thousands of volunteers worldwide. These individuals operate nodes on the network, contributing to its security and stability. No single person, company, or government controls it. It's free from the influence of any single entity. That means no one can print more, arbitrarily devaluing the currency. There's a fixed supply of Bitcoin, capped at 21 million coins, and no one can freeze your account or block your transactions. You have complete control over your funds. It's a financial system outside traditional rules, a new paradigm for how we think about money and transactions. This freedom is its greatest strength and sometimes its biggest risk. It's a double-edged sword, offering both immense potential and inherent challenges. In short, Bitcoin is internet money you can send anywhere, anytime without a middleman. It's a borderless, permissionless system for transferring value. It's secured by a public, decentralized network, making it transparent and hard to control. Every transaction is recorded on a public ledger, known as the blockchain. Whether it's the future or a fad, understanding this is the first step. It's crucial to educate yourself and form your own informed opinion. And yes, there's a lot of hype surrounding Bitcoin. It's important to separate the signal from the noise and approach it with a critical and discerning eye. To get Bitcoin, you need to know why it was born. In 2009, during a global financial crisis, someone called Satoshi Nakamoto released Bitcoin. Banks were failing, governments were printing money, and trust in the system was crumbling. Satoshi's idea: build money that runs on math and code, not politicians or bankers. No central authority, no manipulation. Just transparency and predictability. Bitcoin lets you be your own bank, sending money anywhere, anytime without permission. It was a direct response to centralized power and inflation. The goal? Give people control over their money, not big institutions. Bitcoin was created for those questioning the old system. It's a bold experiment in financial freedom. So, how does Bitcoin work without a bank acting as the middleman? It's a question that often pops up when people first encounter the concept of decentralized digital currency. Banks have traditionally been the trusted third party that verifies and records transactions, but Bitcoin operates on a completely different model. Picture a giant public notebook, the blockchain, where every single transaction, no matter how big or small, is meticulously recorded. Think of it as a transparent and immutable record of all Bitcoin activity. And here's the kicker: thousands upon thousands of people worldwide, scattered across the globe, keep exact copies of this very same notebook. This distributed network is what makes Bitcoin so resilient. These transactions aren't just jumbled together, they're carefully grouped into blocks, and each block is then sealed shut with a complex mathematical lock, a cryptographic puzzle that's incredibly difficult to crack. Once a block is added to the chain, it's nearly impossible to go back and change it. The beauty of having so many copies of the blockchain is that if someone tried to tamper with a block, everyone would immediately notice the discrepancy. Now, how do these blocks get added to the chain? That's where miners come in. Miners are individuals or companies who dedicate computing power to compete to solve those complex mathematical puzzles and add new blocks to the blockchain, and for their efforts, they're rewarded with newly minted Bitcoin. This entire process, from the cryptographic locks to the distributed network of copies and the mining incentives, is what keeps the Bitcoin network secure, transparent, and most importantly, honest. Because everyone can see the notebook, you can't spend Bitcoin that you don't actually have, and you certainly can't double spend the same Bitcoin. It's a system that's fundamentally based on collective verification and agreement, relying not on trust in a single central authority like a bank, but on the consensus of the entire network. The underlying technology is undeniably complex, involving cryptography, distributed systems, and game theory, but the core idea is surprisingly simple. It's essentially a public, locked record book that ensures secure and transparent transactions. There's no central control, just the unwavering power of math and the collective agreement of the network participants. And that, in a nutshell, is how Bitcoin works its magic. Why the obsession? Scarcity is a big reason only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist. This fixed supply means it can't be inflated like regular money. People hope demand will drive up value over time. Decentralization is another draw. No government or bank can control your Bitcoin. It's a lifeline for people in unstable countries or with unreliable currencies. International payments are faster and cheaper, cutting out expensive middlemen. Billions without bank accounts can access Bitcoin with just a smartphone. It's about freedom and access and the chance to participate in a global financial system. For some, it's a store of value. For others, a tool for financial inclusion. That's why people care. But Bitcoin isn't all upside. Its price is wildly volatile. Up or down 10% in a day isn't unusual. That makes it risky for both investors and everyday use. Security is on, you lose your private keys, and your Bitcoin is gone forever. No customer support, no do-overs. Hackers can steal your coins if you're not careful. Regulations are uncertain. Governments could change the rules overnight. Bitcoin is still tricky for beginners' wallets. Keys and exchanges can be confusing. Until it's as easy as a banking app, mass adoption will be slow. The risks are real. Know them before you dive in. It's not for the faint of heart. Let's take a look at Bitcoin in action, moving beyond the theory and exploring its practical applications in the real world. We'll see how it's being used by individuals, businesses, and even in specific regions to address unique challenges and create new opportunities. Consider Maria in the US, working hard to support her family back home in the Philippines. Sending money internationally can often be a slow and expensive process, riddled with fees and delays. Bitcoin offers a compelling alternative, making it faster, more efficient, and significantly cheaper than traditional bank transfers. The fees are lower, and the transfer times are dramatically reduced, allowing Maria's family to receive the funds much quicker. In Argentina, where the economy has faced significant challenges with runaway inflation eroding the value of the local currency, people are increasingly turning to Bitcoin as a safe haven. Bitcoin provides a way to preserve their wealth and protect their savings from the devastating effects of hyperinflation, acting as a store of value that isn't controlled by the government or subject to the same economic pressures. Small online businesses are also embracing Bitcoin as a payment method to avoid the often exorbitant fees charged by credit card companies. These fees can eat into their profits, especially for businesses with tight margins. Furthermore, Bitcoin helps them avoid the risk of chargebacks from credit cards, which can be a major headache for merchants, leading to lost revenue and administrative burdens. Once a Bitcoin payment is confirmed on the blockchain, it becomes virtually irreversible, providing a level of security and finality that is not always available with traditional payment methods. This feature is particularly beneficial for merchants, offering them greater protection against fraudulent transactions and payment disputes. And of course, there's the element of speculation, which has undoubtedly contributed to Bitcoin's popularity and price volatility. Many investors are drawn to Bitcoin, hoping that its price will continue to soar, driven by increasing adoption and limited supply. Some view Bitcoin as a high-risk, high-reward investment, similar to a volatile tech stock, willing to accept the potential for significant losses in exchange for the possibility of substantial gains. Others adopt a longer-term perspective, holding Bitcoin as a strategic asset, believing that its value will appreciate significantly over time as its adoption continues to grow and its underlying technology matures. These diverse, real-world uses of Bitcoin, ranging from everyday transactions to long-term investments, highlight its versatility and potential. Remittances, providing a lifeline for families in developing countries, acting as an inflation hedge, preserving wealth in times of economic uncertainty, facilitating business payments, reducing costs and increasing efficiency, and fueling speculation, driving innovation and market growth. All of these factors contribute to increasing demand for Bitcoin, solidifying its position in the global financial landscape. Bitcoin isn't just a theoretical concept or a technological curiosity, it's actively solving real-world problems and empowering real people around the globe, offering them greater financial freedom and control. That's why it matters, because it has the potential to transform the way we interact with money and the financial system. And that's why it's here to stay, because it offers tangible benefits and addresses fundamental needs in an increasingly digital world. Ready to try Bitcoin? Here's how. Most people start by buying on a crypto exchange like Coinbase or Binance. Sign up, verify your identity, and buy with your bank account or card. To send Bitcoin, you just need the recipient's wallet address, like sending an email. Double-check the address, mistakes can't be undone. Storing Bitcoin safely is crucial. Leaving it on an exchange is risky. They control your keys. For real security, move it to a personal wallet where you control the private keys. Hot wallets are convenient but online. Cold wallets are offline and much safer. Not your keys, not your coins. Remember that. Take security seriously, and you control your money. That's the Bitcoin way. Bitcoin's price is a roller coaster. Why? The market is still small, so big trades move prices fast. Most buyers are speculators, not everyday users. News and hype drive wild swings. One headline can send prices soaring or crashing. Regulatory uncertainty adds to the chaos. New rules or bans can trigger panic. Social media and big investors amplify every move. A single tweet from a tech CEO can move the market in minutes. It's a high-risk, high-reward game. Volatility is part of the deal. Be ready for the ride. That's Bitcoin. What's next for Bitcoin? The future is wide open. Some see it becoming digital gold, a global store of value, not everyday money. Others hope new tech like the Lightning Network will make it practical for daily payments. Regulation is the wild card. Governments could help or hinder its growth. A global crackdown could hurt, but Bitcoin's decentralized nature makes it hard to kill. Most likely it'll be a mix. A digital asset for investors and, slowly, a tool for payments. Bitcoin has survived crashes and controversy for over 15 years. Its core idea, decentralized, digital, scarce money, is powerful. The journey will stay volatile, but Bitcoin isn't going away. Its role is still evolving. The story is just beginning.